name is Yura, and welcome to Red English Country English Book Story today. Vincent's Mistake and Magic Tree House. Are you ready to read? Here we go. Magic Tree House. We read first chapter 1 and the end of chapter 2. Magic Tree House. Chapter 1. Into the Woods. Help! A monster, said Annie. Yeah, sure, said Jack. A little monster in frog tree, Porcupine. Run, Jack, said Annie. She ran off the road. Oh, rather, cried Jack. This is who you got for spending time till 7 years old, said sister. And Annie loved for Chansup, but Jack was 8 as if he liked to will things. Watch out, Jack, the monster coming, said Annie. Jack didn't say anything. Come on, Jack, I race you, said Annie. No thanks, said Jack. Annie reached into the roofs. Jack went into the sky. The sun was about to set. Come on, Annie. It's time to go home, yelled Jack, but Annie didn't answer. Jack waited. Annie, he called again. Jack, Jack, Annie shouted. Come here, quick. Jack nodded. It's better be good, he said. Jack leaped into the road and headed into the woods. The tree rolled. The garden late after the night. Over here, said Annie. Annie was standing under the trunk of a tree. Look, she said. She pointed a rope of the ladder. She hanging down from the height of the tree. Wow, Jack whispered. At the top of the tree at a tree house, trucked between two branches. There must be the biggest tree house in the wood, said Annie. Who built it? Said Jack. I've never seen it before. I don't know, but I'm going up, said Annie. No, we don't have to begin to go, said Jack. Just 20 minutes, said Annie. She started off the ladder. Annie, come back, said Jack. But Annie kept climbing. She climbed off the turned branches. He sighed. Annie, it's almost dark. We have to go home. Annie disappeared inside the tree house. Annie, Jack called. Jack waited a minute, but he was about to call again when Annie poked her hand out of the off-tree mouse out the window. Books, Annie shouted. What? Jack says. He's filled with books, said Annie. Oh man, Jack cried. He loved books. Jack pushed his glasses into the case. He grabbed the side of the rope of the ladder and stood it up. Chapter 2, The Monster. And this is the end, the Magic Tree House. And then Vincent's Mistake. Vincent, what's the mistake? Vincent's Mistake. Mrs. Muller baked farmers for into the bacon cake. And then Mrs. Burger soup stand the famous for potato soup. This is Mrs. White, Vincent's mom. She sells sugar and salt. Vincent helps his mom all the time. One day, Vincent's mom gives him $2. Vincent, this sugar for Mrs. Miller and this is salt is for Mrs. Parker. Okay, sugar for Mrs. Miller and salt for Mrs. Parker. Don't forget, Vincent's mom said, the sugar is on your right and salt is on your left. I remember. Sugar on is my right, salt on is my left. Sugar on is my right, salt on is my left. Sugar on in my left, salt on in my right. Sugar on in my left, salt on the right. Soon Vincent gets the jars mixed it all. Good morning, Mrs. Miller. Here your sugar. Have a nice day. Thank you, Vincent. Good morning, Mrs. Parker. Here's your salt. Have a nice day. Thank you, Vincent. A few days later, Mrs. Miller and Mrs. Parker come by Mrs. White Soap. You get muscles inside of the sugar, said Mrs. Miller said. Now all my cakes are too salty. I have my soup. It's too sweet, Mrs. Parker says. Oh no, Vincent says. I am blessed. I'm sorry, Mrs. Miller and Mrs. Parker. It's all my fault. The jars look the same, so I mixed them up. I made a mistake. The next day, the soup customer visited the Mrs. Miller's bakery. Did you make a carrot cake? Yes, I did. Sir, this cake is salty. It's so different. I like my favorite. I can some more. Another customer visited Mrs. Parker's soup and said, the soup is sweet. It's so different. I love it so much. Can I have some more? Now, Mrs. Miller cake and Mrs. Parker soup I have become famous. Thank you, Ben said. Mrs. Miller said. This is all thanks to your mistake, Miss Parker said. And did you have fun? You asked English Conjure Comic in a better book. And you asked goodbye and a book to the goodbye to. The princess must say goodbye to, and the must say goodbye. And this is Mrs. Miller goodbye and Mrs. Parker goodbye to. And this is Princess goodbye. And today this book goodbye to. And the Magic Treehouse book goodbye to. And tomorrow will be read this chapter 2 and read chapter 3. And then read goodbye to this 2 book, and you're a very, very, very goodbye to. And see you next time. See you tomorrow. Bye bye, friends.